Imagine you walk into a bustling bar. The music is loud, people are talking over each other, and every seat seems taken. You hesitate at the entrance for a moment, wondering if you should just turn around and leave. But a thought sparks in your mind: what if I never find the perfect chance to get a seat? What if I miss out on something amazing? In the next 8 seconds, you make a bold move, you step forward, weave through the crowd, and claim an empty spot at the bar. People glance at you curiously, but you feel a surge of pride. You acted, you seized your moment, and now you're part of the conversation. Life itself is just like this scene. Too often, we stand aside, watch our opportunities pass by, and hope that maybe next time will be different. But let me assure you, if you keep waiting for the perfect chance, you'll miss out on the best parts of your life. Right now, I want you to buckle up and stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'll share ideas that might just shift your perspective in a way that changes everything. Opportunities are like sparks of light darting around us, and they don't wait for permission. If you spend your life waiting for the perfect moment, you'll watch those sparks disappear into the distance. And then someone else, someone a bit like me, jumps in, devours that chance, and transforms it into real success. Chances don't come labeled, "Here's your big break." They arrive in subtle, everyday moments, often disguised as risks, small openings, or uncomfortable decisions. And if you're sitting back, hesitating, you'll let them slip away. The best among us become fearless in the face of risk. It's not because they never feel nervous or uncertain, they've just decided that growth is more important than comfort. The question is, when will you make that decision? The difference between me and many others is that I've eliminated fear's power over my actions. I'm not scared of failing, making mistakes, or facing judgment. If I feel uneasy, I still push forward because real progress is forged in the moments that challenge you. The bigger danger isn't failure, it's complacency. It's letting the voice in your head say, "next time," over and over until your time is gone. Some people even fear success because it brings responsibility. Yet if there's anything you should truly fear, it's mediocrity, living an unremarkable, forgettable life where you never use your gifts or leave an impact. Your life becomes boundless the moment you decide fear no longer has dominion over you. Think of it this way: anything you're afraid of today will seem small and insignificant when you look back in a few years. Even if you attempt something and fail, you'll gain experience and discover a new direction. Is that such a bad deal? Actually, it's a bargain. It's the catalyst for exponential growth. When your mindset shifts from "what if I fail" to "I can't afford not to try," you enter a realm of infinite possibilities. Now, let's address the illusion that stops so many: the fear of what others think. This single worry has stolen more dreams than any other. People hesitate to reach out, speak up, or chase an unconventional path because they imagine some disapproving audience mocking their every move. Let me tell you a secret: most people are so busy thinking about themselves that they barely have the energy to focus on your decisions. Once you genuinely understand how little others are scrutinizing your path, you'll feel an incredible liberation. It's like taking off a heavy cloak you never needed in the first place. The next stumbling block is our inability to control emotions when faced with tough decisions. Yes, we're human, and we all feel fear, excitement, anxiety, or doubt at some point. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up isn't the absence of emotion but the strategy for handling it. Instead of letting emotions drive you into panic or paralysis, use them as signals. Fear might indicate you're on the brink of a life-changing move. Doubt might mean you need more knowledge or preparation. Recognize these feelings, but don't let them steer the wheel. Acknowledge them, learn from them, and then keep moving forward. We also need to talk about the allure of quick wins. Many people say, "I don't want $1 million in 2 years, I want $100 a day now." The problem is, that mindset usually leads to short-sighted decisions and small achievements. Yes, you might snag a few quick gains, but you'll never build anything substantial. True success takes time, resilience, and patience. If you want to aim higher, you have to resist the urge for immediate results. It's like planting a seed: if you dig it up every day to see if it's grown, you'll never reap a harvest. Early in my journey, I had my share of failures. Let's say I tried 22 different ventures, and 20 of them collapsed spectacularly. But that means 2 succeeded, and those 2 successes changed my life. By learning from each flop, I gained insights that fueled my next attempt. And let's be honest, no one celebrates failure in the moment. It stings, it bruises your ego, and sometimes it hits your bank account. But if you're serious about growth, you'll realize failure is just another ingredient in the recipe for success. It's not a permanent label. It's a stepping stone. Many of us become paralyzed by the idea of making mistakes. We fear the potential embarrassment, the loss, the judgment. We worry about letting others down or proving cynics right. But consider this: every missed opportunity could be far more tragic than any temporary setback. If you try and fail, at least you know you pushed your limits and gleaned lessons for the future. However, if you never try, all you're left with is regret. Regret weighs far more heavily than a short-term defeat. People often ask me, what if I'm too deep in a mess already? I've got debts, I've got responsibilities, I've got a family relying on me. Doesn't that mean I can't afford to take risks? The truth is, you can't afford not to. Inaction has brought you to this point. Another year of the same old routine won't magically solve your problems. Growth starts when you decide you deserve a life that transcends your current limitations. No matter your age, your past, or your present struggles, you still have time to turn things around. But that window narrows each day you wait. Yes, we want to be altruistic, to help those in need, or support causes that speak to our hearts. But the irony is, without resources, often financial ones, you can't effectively help anyone. When you're struggling just to pay your bills, it's very hard to focus on bigger missions or philanthropic aims. That's why wealth creation can be a noble goal. When you're stable and prosperous, you can change not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. Money isn't evil, it's a powerful tool that can amplify your values, for better or worse. If you earn more, you can give more, build more, and create lasting impact. Now, you might tell me, but what if I never earn enough to truly make a difference? That fear is part of the problem. If you resign yourself to small ambitions, you'll never stretch into the territory of greatness. Challenge yourself. Make a plan for what you'll do once you've reached a specific financial milestone. Maybe you want to sponsor education for underprivileged kids, or fight environmental damage, or fund health research. The possibilities are endless, but they only become attainable when you push beyond your current barriers. The harsh reality is that you can't save anything or anyone if you're struggling to survive. That includes yourself. Self-sufficiency doesn't mean ignoring the rest of the world, it means positioning yourself to make a real difference. If you've ever felt guilty about chasing financial prosperity, let that go. As long as your heart is in the right place, building wealth can be one of the most benevolent things you do. It empowers you, and ultimately, it empowers others through you. But to get there, you need clarity. Here's a simple exercise. First, write down your goals. Not just financial goals, but also personal milestones like improving your health, building better relationships, or developing new skills. Separate them into immediate, short-term, and long-term objectives. Next, list all the people you've interacted with in the last week. Now match each person to at least one of your goals. If you find that most of your interactions have no connection to your objectives, you're pouring time and energy into situations that don't help you grow. This exercise can be eye-opening. It reveals how we distribute our mental and emotional resources. If the people around you are constantly negative, if they drain your motivation, or if they lead you astray from your vision, consider creating some distance. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future might sound cliché, but it holds truth. The attitudes and aspirations of those close to you seep into your mind and shape your perspective. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you in a positive way, and watch how your goals accelerate. Now let's talk about stepping up to opportunities in a more concrete sense. Imagine a new project at work, a side hustle idea, or a chance to pitch a bold concept to an influencer in your field. Your initial reaction might be, "I'm not ready," or "I'll get to it another time," because you fear rejection or feel unprepared. But guess what? No one is ever fully ready. The readiness comes from doing, adjusting, and trying again. If you keep deferring everything to some abstract future where you're magically more skilled, more confident, or more resourceful, you'll find that future never arrives. The biggest breakthroughs happen when you commit first and figure out the details along the way. This is where many draw the line and retreat, but it's also where transformation happens. The journey might be messy. You might pivot multiple times before finding what works. Yet each pivot adds a new layer of experience and a deeper sense of understanding. So if you ask me how to start, I'll say, start anyway. Don't wait for the perfect blueprint. I often see people who talk a big game, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, yet months later, they're still in the same place. They might rationalize, I'm tired, I have other obligations, I need a break. Let me remind you, these are the same people who will eventually wonder why others are living the life they can only dream of. Don't be that person. If you've got a dream that lights your soul on fire, chase it wholeheartedly. Yes, it might be scary and uncertain, but so is regret. Choose your discomfort wisely. Let's explore the mindset shift that needs to happen to embrace this bold approach to life. First, you have to accept total responsibility. That means no more blaming the economy, your upbringing, or even your current circumstances. You can't control everything in the world, but you can control how you respond, how you learn, and how you pivot. Responsibility is about reclaiming your power. It might feel heavy at first, but it's also unbelievably liberating because it puts you in the driver's seat. Second, you have to let go of the need for instant gratification. Building anything worthwhile takes time, relationships, careers, businesses, or creative projects. The modern world is addicted to quick dopamine hits from social media likes, short videos, and fleeting viral moments. That's not real fulfillment. Real fulfillment is seeing sustained growth over weeks, months, and years. It's about daily progress, not daily applause. Third, keep a growth diary. This can be as simple as jotting down one key insight you learned each day. It forces you to reflect on your actions and what you gained from them. Over time, you'll see patterns in your behavior, identify which strategies are effective, and spot the ones that drag you down. This reflection is a powerful tool to refine your approach and accelerate success. To illustrate, let me share a perspective. Each misstep or shortfall is like a puzzle piece you're adding to a grander picture. If you only have successes, you might miss the bigger puzzle entirely, because it's the setbacks that show you where your weaknesses lie. Weaknesses aren't curses, they're indicators of where you can grow. With each piece you place, the image of your future self becomes clearer. Embrace every stumble as a clue to shape your path more effectively. Time management also plays a critical role. Many of us say, I have no time to pursue my dreams, yet we spend hours scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows. Evaluate your priorities. If you truly care about your goals, carve out the time. It might mean waking up an hour earlier, cutting back on leisure, or reorganizing your schedule to focus on high-impact activities. Remember, your life is the sum of your choices. If you choose Netflix over a new skill, that's not bad in itself, but don't complain later if you don't see the results you desire. Another point is the power of small wins. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by the size of our ambitions. I want to launch a multi-million-dollar enterprise, or I want to change the world. Fantastic! But break it down into daily steps. Ask yourself, what can I do today that moves me 1 inch closer to that massive goal? Celebrate those incremental achievements because they add up. It's these tiny consistent actions that fuel long-term momentum. Let's return to the idea of fear and how to turn it into your ally. Fear often signals importance. If you're scared to do something, it usually means it's something that matters to you deeply. Instead of recoiling at that feeling, welcome it as proof that you're stretching your limits. The trick is to channel that energy into preparation, innovation, and determined action. Let fear sharpen your focus, but never let it paralyze your ambition. I've noticed that many people are weighed down by the need for external validation. They want their family, their friends, or online audiences to cheer them on from day one. But guess what? Most big dreams start in solitude. You're the only one who fully understands your vision. Others might think you're crazy until you show them the results. So don't wait for permission or applause. Approve of yourself. That's more than enough to begin. This leads me to the critical topic of self-talk. Pay attention to the language you use internally. Do you say, "I can't, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm not an expert"? If so, you're feeding a mindset of limitation. Flip the script to, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm excited to test this idea." Words carry energy. If you constantly tell yourself you can't succeed, your actions will follow that belief. Change your words, and you'll start to change your life. Now, people ask, how do I practically apply all of this? It starts with one decision: I will move forward no matter what. That decision sets off a domino effect. You'll find yourself signing up for a course, reaching out to potential mentors, adjusting your daily habits, or even brainstorming new ways to tackle old problems. Action is the antidote to the chaos in your mind. The more you do, the less power your fears hold. Speaking of mentors, don't underestimate the value of learning from those who've walked a similar path. However, keep in mind that mentors aren't there to carry you, they're there to guide you. You must do the heavy lifting yourself. They can highlight pitfalls, suggest strategies, and offer encouragement, but ultimately, your success depends on how much you're willing to grind. Let's also talk about the role of environment. If you're constantly surrounded by pessimism, it's like trying to climb a mountain with a boulder tied to your ankle. Conversely, an uplifting environment can help you soar. That doesn't mean you should cut off everyone who doubts you. Sometimes, these people are family or old friends. But you can limit the energy you invest in such relationships or redirect the conversation to more constructive topics. Simultaneously, seek out communities where ambition and positivity thrive. Here's another common trap: comparing yourself to others. Social media can be especially toxic here, as you're bombarded by highlight reels of other people's so-called perfect lives. This comparison is a recipe for perpetual dissatisfaction. There will always be someone who appears to have more success, more money, more fame. Instead, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Aim to improve by 1% each day in some aspect of your life. Over a year, that growth compounds dramatically. Don't shy away from mistakes. Mistakes are data points. If something fails, ask yourself, why did it fail? What can I learn from this? What will I do differently next time? Reflect, but don't brood. Keep your momentum. The reason many never progress is that they spend too long wallowing in blame or self-pity instead of analyzing the situation objectively and moving on. As you strive for progress, celebrate the small milestones. Land a new client? Great! Made your first sale online? Fantastic! Managed to get a lead on an upcoming project? Awesome! Each little step is a building block. When you acknowledge and appreciate these moments, you prime your brain to look for more opportunities to succeed. A positive feedback loop forms between your mindset and your actions. Remember, you're not limited by your current resources or circumstances. History is filled with individuals who started with nothing, no money, no connections, and created empires or made revolutionary breakthroughs. Their secret wasn't luck, it was unrelenting persistence. They had a vision so powerful that obstacles seemed like mere stepping stones. You can adopt the same unstoppable drive. It starts with seeing your future self and refusing to settle for anything less. Let's talk about the profound simplicity of taking the first step. Maybe you've already thought of a brilliant business idea or have a burning passion to start writing a book. The difference between the person who changes the world and the person who drifts through life is that the former acts. They write the first page or set up the simplest version of their product. They learn from feedback, pivot, and grow. Meanwhile, the latter group wonders what if, until the spark dies. Push through the inertia of the first move. Yes, you might do it imperfectly. That's okay. Perfect is an illusion, done is real. As you gather experience, the quality of your work increases exponentially. But you can't fine-tune something that doesn't exist. An imperfect start can evolve into excellence, whereas no start remains just a dream. Let me share another critical mindset: resourcefulness outweighs resources. You might say, I don't have enough money to fund my project, or I don't have enough connections to expand my network. But with creativity, you can bootstrap your way in smaller increments. You can collaborate, trade skills, or leverage free online platforms to build an audience. Look for solutions instead of dwelling on obstacles. That's how breakthroughs happen. Once you gain momentum, you'll notice a curious phenomenon: opportunities start appearing more frequently. It's not magic, it's that action begets action. People notice your commitment and want to be part of it. Doors open because you've shown you're serious. This is the opposite of waiting passively. By moving forward, you transform random chance into a continuous flow of possibilities. With each new success, you'll face new challenges: scaling your business, managing bigger networks, or handling public attention. These are good problems to have. They signal that you've outgrown your old level. Always remember that each stage of growth comes with its own set of hurdles. Embrace them as the next rung on your ladder of success. But keep your core values intact. It's easy to lose sight of your original motivations once you begin to see results. If your goal was to provide a better life for your family, keep that center stage. If you wanted to help a specific community or cause, don't let that fade. Authenticity keeps you grounded and ensures that your success feels fulfilling rather than hollow. Now, if you find yourself hesitating to share your dreams publicly, you're not alone. Some people prefer to work silently until they have something to show. That's fine, as long as you're genuinely working and not just procrastinating under the guise of privacy. Others might declare their intentions as a form of self-accountability. Do what suits your personality, but remember that a dream moonshot is just wishful thinking. Picture your life a year from now. Imagine you pursued one idea wholeheartedly, overcame initial setbacks, and gained traction. How different would your reality look? You might have extra income, a network of like-minded individuals, and a newfound confidence in your own abilities. Now imagine the opposite: you did nothing, convincing yourself that you'd start later. In a year, you'd be the same person, in the same place, with the same regrets. Which scenario do you prefer? If you're unsure where to begin, just brainstorm. Think about what excites you, what problems you want to solve, or where you can offer unique value. Then pick one project, just one, and give it your all for a set period, like 3 months. Evaluate the progress and decide whether to continue or pivot. This approach saves you from chasing multiple rabbits simultaneously, which often leads to catching none. At times, you might feel tempted to quit. Your efforts might not pay off as quickly as you hoped. In those moments, remind yourself why you started. Revisit your goals and your reasons for wanting a better life. Reflect on the cost of giving up, returning to a cycle of frustration and longing. Often, that cost is higher than pushing through the discomfort of forging ahead. When you do reach a milestone, no matter how small, take a moment to acknowledge it. Even better, share the lesson you learned with someone else, passing the wisdom along. This act of teaching or mentoring solidifies the lesson in your own mind and might ignite another person's journey. Each of us is both a student and a teacher at different points in life. Embrace both roles. You might be wondering how all this ties back to the bar scene you imagined at the start. That moment of decision, whether to step in or step out, defines our lives. Every opportunity is like an empty seat in a crowded bar. If you hesitate, someone else will slide in without hesitation. If you're fearful, you might walk away, missing out entirely. But if you act decisively, you open yourself to new experiences and rewards. That's the essence of living boldly. Let's also acknowledge the role of patience. Real transformation doesn't happen overnight. Expecting instant results sets you up for disappointment. Cultivate patience alongside action. This dual approach, relentless pursuit guided by measured optimism, creates a powerful formula for sustained success. Act quickly on opportunities, yet remain patient with the growth process. In the midst of pursuing grand visions, don't forget to find joy in the journey. The hustle shouldn't rob you of life's simple pleasures. Success that comes at the expense of your well-being isn't true success. Balance matters. Spend time with loved ones, nurture your health, and make room for personal growth. That holistic fulfillment is the real treasure of an abundant life. By now, you see that everything hinges on a single principle: take responsibility, take action, and keep moving forward. If you do this, fear becomes powerless, naysayers fade into the background, and your regrets transform into lessons. This is how ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. The difference lies in execution, not innate talent or inherited privilege. So, stand up. Embrace your future self. The best day to begin is today. Yes, your current situation might be complicated, and yes, you might not feel ready. But you will never gain momentum by staying still. Decide right now that you're worthy of a life that surpasses mediocrity. Decide that you will no longer let fleeting fears govern your destiny. And once that decision is made, let your actions speak louder than your words. For anyone still on the fence, understand this: the longer you wait, the more time you spend in someone else's shadow. Opportunities are here for the taking, and they favor the bold. You have a choice: you can keep waiting for life to happen to you, or you can happen to life. Every day is a new chance to rewrite your story. Make it a narrative you're proud to share with the world. Now, as we near the final moments of this message, take a look at where you stand. Are you ready to shed self-doubt and claim your seat at the bar of opportunity? Are you prepared to set aside limiting beliefs and embrace the freedom of a fearless life? The path might be tough, but it will also be exhilarating. And that's what makes the journey worthwhile, knowing that every challenge you face turns into a stepping stone for the next level of your evolution. Thank you for investing your time and energy into this. If you're still here, if your heart is racing with the possibilities ahead, then you're already on your way. The journey continues from here. You have the tools. You have the mindset. All that remains is to act. So here's my call to action: subscribe to this channel, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's aim for 5,000 likes, because once we hit that mark, I'll release a video on daily habits that can help you break free from laziness and propel you towards success. Remember, every like, every comment, and every subscriber helps build our community of people determined to rise above mediocrity. Together, we can inspire each other to step into the future we deserve. If you've gained any insight or found any spark of inspiration in this video, don't let it fizzle out. Nourish it. Let that spark catch fire within you, fueling your next steps. Because a life of significance starts with a single moment of courage, and for you, that moment can be right now.